Going to be here but isn't tonight. She's deaf and can't hear, and my father-in-law is also deaf and can't hear. So if you talk, they won't be able to hear.
So is your wife.
So actually, my wife is standing right beside me, and my son. My son is here also. Now. Now Simon, my father-in-law Simon, are you here? Shh. Can you hear Simon?
Grandpa here?
You'll just have to bear with me for half an hour, right? Look, I'll be finished.
Just screw up the second page and be done with it.
I'll be finished in half an hour. Look, yeah, I've written things down, otherwise, look, I brain freeze and I'll forget. But Fiona, I don't know whether any of you have seen some of these photos here, but Fiona said, look, they have nothing to do with Andrew. But Andrew's sort of taken up photography just recently, and well, maybe not just recently, but he's taken some pretty good photos now that you know, he didn't know I put this thing together, but I slipped a few of those photos in there. So it's nothing to do with farming or whatever, it's possibly that. But I'd like to thank Andrew to start off with. Fiona and I are not his Facebook friends because he won't help us. And the first I knew of this evening was someone said to us, oh, Andrew's having a party. And the drinks and food are free. So, well, that's what you said on your Facebook. So I would like to say thank you very much. And when you go out, see John Dill and just play him. So, excellent.
Now, see what's happening at the house with you, maybe.
Now, a bit of a coincidence. We went to a friend's 50th the other day. That has nothing to do with it, but the friend and I went to tech together whenever it was, 100 years ago, and later on, 2 or 3 years after we finished tech, we met up at baby classes. Or whatever it's called, antenatal school. And Fiona and Shelley were due on the same day, which happens to be today. 21 years ago, of course. And what happened in the end? Well, of course you're a bit late, so yes.
4 days late.
Yeah, 4 days late. But
they're both
they are both having
having their 21st tonight.
their 21st tonight. That's right. That's right.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the grandparents for coming. Simon and Jan are here. Can you hear Simon? Can you hear? Come a bit closer so you can hear what I'm saying.
I can hear.
Oh, that's good. Look, thank you for all shutting up. That's all good. Now the godparents here, Nikki and Greg, I'd like to thank you for coming. Nikki's always been in contact and to see what Andrew's been up to, and birthdays and Christmases. Andrew's been very fortunate to have Nicola as a godmother, and Greg as a
Greg,
godfather,
you too.
of course.
Where are you? Greg? Greg, are you here?
Put up your hand, Greg. Now, I'd like to thank Darcy, the other godfather, who spiritually taught Andrew how to drive a tractor straight. And then I'd like to thank Darcy and Rachel for, they actually gave Andrew a job. And at that stage, Andrew was only 17 and a little bit young to drive heavy vehicles or an HD, whatever it's called. So he had to drive the little tractor with the ground thing on. And is that the story? But then when he turned 18, Darcy taught him to drive the truck and that JCB loader thing. And I don't know, there's not many licences that he hasn't checked off on his card now. So that's really good. I'd like to thank Ken and Rebecca. My sister Ken and my sister Rebecca and husband Ken. Andrew's enjoyed over the last 5 or 6 years going down and helping out the sheep and beef farmers down south, and Andrew's really enjoyed going down. I think Rebecca spoils him rotten when he gets down there. And Andrew's enjoyed helping Ken out. Where are they? Rebecca and Ken. Really enjoyed helping Ken out on the farm. I don't know what it is, Ken, about you going down and helping you that he doesn't get with me, but it may be something to do with no dairy cows on the farm and not having to get up early. So look, Andrew's really enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Also, Ken, Andrew did have a job a year ago at Mount Summer Station, and then decided to go back to uni. So he had a couple of dogs at that stage. So we ended up with one of the dogs, and Ken took on one of the others. So look, thanks for that. Fiona really enjoyed having Tough around the house, and so did Molly, Fiona's little little fox terrier, Jack Russell. But Tough. One day, totally spoiled. One day Fiona went in the house and he's Tough lying on the carpet in the back door saying, "This is where I'm sleeping tonight." But his poor dog was given the boot.
Do you want Patreon?
Look, there's only 25 minutes to go. Not enough on page 2. Andrew's shooting. We're proud of Andrew with his shooting at secondary school. He did considerably well, considering the amount of training he possibly put into it. But but that last year at school, not only for the team, but Andrew achieved a couple of. It's not Top Guns, is it? It's high guns, I think, not Top Guns. That's the Europeans high gun, but Andrew achieved a couple of high guns where he was the highest point shooter in the competition. So, look, that was extremely good. Now, I went down with Andrew with the St Paul shooting team to the South Island and the New Zealand champs, and the first day of that, look, it was excellent. Andrew did extremely well. First of all, getting into the finals of the single barrel, and then. At that stage, I think he was only ranked 14 in New Zealand, so for him to get to that stage was really good. But then to actually win that stage was extremely good. Read
that barrel.
20 minutes to go.
Round one.
It's all right, exactly. Now, I'd like to thank Fraser Hayward. He came down that day. The day started out nice, the sun was shining, beautiful day, and Fraser turns up. It was actually bloody cold. We all had jackets on, but Fraser turns up in a t-shirt. What's this bloke on? But then, when Andrew had that shoot off, it started sleeting. It was freezing cold. But Fraser had put on a jersey by then, so it must have become cold. So, yes. Fourth form, Andrew went to the T-Horse School down in Western Bays of Taupo, and he learnt things like canoeing, bushwalking, rock climbing, abseiling.
Look,
this is the only chance I'm going to get to do a speech at your 21st, so you're just going to have to bear with it. So I'll take longer if you like. So he was learning, abseiling, canoeing, and how to light fires with matches. So here I'd like to thank, who's not here tonight but appearance, I'd like to thank Kayla Laurie for helping Andrew to not burn our house down. Although they tried, yes, thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for a fire extinguisher. I'd like to thank Leonie, Kayla's mother, Leonie Laurie, who's Leonie, for tending to Andrew. Andrew was playing musical chairs or so. This is down at Lincoln. He was playing musical chairs with a burning couch, and had to fly home for a week or 10 days because convalescing at home when your mother's running after you is a lot better than being at a flat down at uni. So thanks very much, Leonie. Andrew was going in every night to Leonie to get tended to. Yeah, I do. Now, being responsible parents, this petrol thing, Andrew, I thought, I better go and teach you about this petrol. So, I must thank Wayne Kitchen, who gives me free petrol and diesel mix that these stupid people put the wrong things in their cars. But it took 20 litres of petrol down, took Andrew down, poured it on the fire, and as you do, you light a bit of paper and then sort of, at a distance, throw it on the fire, and Andrew sort of went a bit close, sort of 2 or 3 metres away, and I said to Andrew, I did voice my concern about the distance he was standing, but he threw it in, and when this fire erupted in a ball of flames that just about engulfed himself, and he made a steady retreat back to where I was standing with oxygen. But there was still oxygen in the air. Fiona and I learned from the Lincoln years. One thing Andrew taught us from the 3 years he was at Lincoln we were down there was coning. And it was Fiona and I in the front of the car and the 3 Lincoln students in the back, and we were smoking those cones. I won't say any more. That weekend we went down and saw Andrew play rugby, and look, he played a really good game and won Player of the Day. And so I think there's some rugby photos there somewhere. Now, I'd also like to thank, who's not here tonight, but appearance are Lizette Poole. Appearance here, Johnny and Ann. They're responsible as a girl for helping Andrew not get arrested while stealing signposts. All his mates, well, all his friends here, most of them call him Macky. So I can understand when a signpost appears in his bedroom, Macky's Road. Fiona's cleaning out his room a month later and then one appears Andrew's Road. I can understand that. But when have your mother and I ever called you give way? Detour. Yes. Look, there are 2 Andrew Mackies here tonight. Andy Mack with a broken leg back here, and there's another one, Colin Dixon, who are both roading contractors. At any time you run short of signs, give me a call. We'll be able to sort something out, I'm sure. Thank you to my sister Rachel.
Rach. Who's Rach? Rach, where are you, Rach?
Who I'm hoping is the only police officer in this room tonight. Thank you, Rach, for not arresting Andrew tonight. And he's stealing signposts. Andrew, look, your mum and I are very proud of you for getting to 21 and achieving what you have.